In this video, I'll walk you through our report builder tool and how to create and generate a client-friendly report. To begin, you can click on Create New here. We have two options. Blank Custom Report Template will be a completely blank template that you can build from scratch. We also have these YCharts report templates that you can use as a starting off point to build your template. I'm going to create a brand new one, so I'm going to click blank here, and then first I can choose the orientation, portrait or landscape, as well as the number of securities in my report that the default will show. One thing to note is that if I select one security here, I'm not limited to just showing one security throughout this entire report. I can mix and match modules that might have 2 or 3 plus securities allowed in them. I'm going to keep it at 1 security for now, and then I can also choose to include a benchmark if I'd like, which I will. I'll select next here, and it's going to bring me to this brand new blank page. To add modules to this, I can select one of these groups on the left-hand side, and if I hover over the information icon here, I can actually see a little bit more about what's in this group and the modules that I might find. I'm going to start off with just some basic information here, adding in a cover page and a table of contents. And then I'm also going to click this auto create new section. So what this essentially will do is when I go to generate this report, once it's finished, I can choose specific sections. So I'm not limited to running every single module in this report. So if I just wanted to run, let's say, performance modules and allocation modules, creating them as sections will allow me to do that. So I'm going to click this here and it'll create a section for me. And I'm just going to give that a name here. So I'm going to name it Introduction and Disclosures, since later I'll go back and add this disclosure module as well. And then I'm going to make this section mandatory. So that means essentially whenever I go to run this report, I have to have in this specific section, which is really good if you have certain compliance mandates that you need to follow. I'll click apply, and then as you can see, I have it listed up here which section this module belongs to. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to add a new page here. In this section, I'll add in some performance information. And one thing to note is if I hover over the icons here, I can preview the module and it will tell me what the module itself looks like, the default size, and then for some of these modules you might have additional sizing as well. So I'm also going to then create a new section for this. We'll label this performance. I'm not going to make it mandatory, and we'll click apply, and you can see they've all been listed here. Within each module, you'll see this little pop-up box appear. So this is going to allow you to edit the name of the module, choose the number of securities. So like I mentioned earlier, you're not limited to just 1, 2, or 3 securities throughout the entire report. You can choose to mix and match the amount, as well as exclude any benchmarks. You can adjust the module size. This one is only 1/4 of a page, so I can't make it any bigger or smaller. And then under advanced options, you can choose the data format for some of these modules, as well as choosing the return type. So each module will be different in what you can edit. For example, this periodic returns under advanced settings, I can decide if I wanted to edit the metrics found in this key stats section. I'm going to continue on here and we'll go in and add in some risk metrics, creating another section like I have previously. And then for this next section of modules, I'm actually going to make some adjustments to the sizing so everything kind of fits on one page instead of going throughout multiple pages here. So I'm just going to go in, add in my asset allocation metrics that I'd like. As you can see, I'm able to add in multiple at once. I'm not limited to just entering in one by one. Create that new section here. And then here's where I can really make some adjustments to the size. So you can see default's 1/4, but I can adjust it to either an 1/8 or 16th. So we'll go with the 1/8 sizes here, and then just dragging up the modules pretty easily to adjust their placement on here. For this pie chart, I'm going to adjust it to a 1/8 page. I'm actually going to add in another pie chart here as well, and I'll show you what I do with that. So for this pie chart, I'll go back to adjusting it to 1/8 page, move them both back up. And then this pie chart I also want included in that allocation. So I'm going to go ahead and click here, click add to section, choose allocation so it's included. And then these pie charts are completely customizable. I am just going to click advanced options here, and I'm going to switch these to bond maturity, and we'll do bond credit quality. So now I have all my allocation metrics on one page here, and then I'm going to finish up just by adding in a few different holdings modules. We'll do top 10. We'll do another top 10. And for these, I'm going to keep this one as top 10 holdings, and then I'm going to take that second one and just adjust it to the underlying holdings level. And then because I didn't create a section for these two when I added them originally to my report, I can still go back and create a section for them. I'm just going to click the little check boxes next to each one, click create section up here, we'll name it holdings. And then last module I'm going to add is a disclosure module. You can see we have quite a few different disclosure modules that you can add. I'm going to go in and add this dynamic disclosure. So this will automatically populate disclosure information for every single metric and module in my report automatically. Click add here, and then I'm going to go in and add this to that introduction and disclosures section that I created at the beginning here. So my report is now complete. If I just wanted to see a pretty high level overview of all the pages, make sure I didn't accidentally create any blank pages. If I click organize pages here, I'm actually able to see it. I can either see it one at a time here, or I can kind of put them in this order to quickly view everything that I have. I'm happy with how it looks here. So I want to go ahead and give it a name. So I'm going to click Save As, and then enter in a name. Click Submit. And this button up here also allows me to open up additional report templates so I can view them quickly in this ribbon up here. I can toggle back and forth. I'm also able to adjust any report settings. So if I wanted to add a description to this report, I can adjust the default number of securities, adjust the footer for just this specific report or the performance disclosure, and I can even adjust the orientation as well. I'm happy with how this looks, so I'm just going to go ahead, click generate up here, and then I'm going to search for my portfolio. It's going to ask me all of the sections I want. So I created this master report here. So now that I have this master report, I don't have to include every single module section every time I run the report. If I'm pulling this report for a client and they're mostly only focused on, performance and risk information, I can remove the allocation and holdings modules. And then this time it's only going to include the intro, disclosures, and performance and risk sections. This is really great. You don't have to, create a separate report template for every single combination now. You can just create one master report, pull the different sections depending on what you're trying to convey to your client. I'm going to click next here. It's going to pull in a bunch of information. Once that's filled in, click generate. It'll take a minute here to load, and then I'll show you what the PDF report looks like. So my report has finished loading here. As you can see, we have the cover page with my logo that I've added. as well as the table of contents here, and then we move into that performance section. I pulled then the risk info, and finally here it'll start to load those disclosures. If you have any questions on our report builder tool, please reach out to your account manager.